Hey, what's up, guys? Tukey here, back again with another episode of a Nation United Canada edition right here on FIFA 19. Today, we look to finish up our second season in the Bundesliga, and we look to do so successfully. Unfortunately, thus far, this campaign hasn't really been all that successful. Currently in 13th, again, out of a grand 18 teams in the Bundesliga, just 3 points ahead of Stuttgart in 16th, who would be in the relegation game or the relegation series, if the season were to end today. So we need to pick up a little bit of steam. We need to pick up a little bit of momentum. Unfortunately, as we've talked about, we've hit the wall at this point. There are no reinforcements that we can bring in to make this a better team. It's just now hoping that the players that we have are able to develop and get to that next level, and then hopefully we will end up finding success in the league. As far as the lineup is concerned, because there was some controversy over the way I handled it in terms of changing things around consistently, do I think it had a negative effect in terms of changing up the formation to try and find something that would allow us to score more goals? Not really. But at the end of the day, I don't disagree with the thought of, hey, just leave it, see what happens, and hope for the best. At the very least, I'll save time. So this is the team that we are going to roll with for the moment. We have quite a few players who might end up leaving on loan, but this will be the setup. Cavallini down to a 76, so Victor Olsen takes that spot up top next to Kyle Larin. Again, I hope this will end up being a successful episode. I hope to finish the season. Time will tell on that front. But I don't want to say I'm pessimistic and that I think we could end up being relegated or in a lot of trouble, at the very least hitting the relegation game. But it is a reality that we have to consider. That very well could happen. Hopefully, though, we get a lot of the worrying out of the way early on. Colin Gibbs has a loan offer. He's a 57 striker that we signed recently out of the Youth Academy. We'll go ahead and try to get that deal to go through. I think we'll be staying live as well for the majority of this episode, at least I hope. I mean, we're over the halfway point of the season. Obviously, down the stretch, we have a lot more games because of the January break. So we'll see how it goes. We got a loan offer for Evan Morgan, 68 right mid at 18 years old. We'll see if we can send him out to Switzerland, as Gibbs did not end up going out. There's going to be a lot of moves, I would expect, loan-wise, a lot of offers, so no point to jump ahead here. Colin Gauthier gets an offer from Torino, at least in terms of a loan deal. We'll look to do that. He is the backup left mid, but with his contract role being important, he's not going to be too happy not playing games. And of course, we still have not been able to find any success whatsoever in the DFB Pokal. And of course, we are not in the Europa League. So it's pretty much the same players all the time, unless you get subbed in or unless there's an injury. So yeah, he would be fairly upset with that. Better to loan him out. And apparently I didn't react to the Evan White offer. Okay, I don't recall there being an offer for Evan White, but hey, I learned something today. At the very least, we got a loan offer for Josh Moore. 66 right mid at 17 years old. Hopefully that goes through as well. We haven't had too much success on that front just yet. But the one, I guess, the little bit of solace I take, as Morgan has been loaned out in the fact that we are 13th in the league, is that you look at a team like Schalke, who are in 14th, and they really have no excuse for being this low. Like, they're not in the elite of the Bundesliga, but they really should be better. As Moore has been loaned out, Gauthier and Morgan, we are not selling Victor Olsen, although it is funny that the Vancouver Whitecaps of the MLS were the team that went in for him. But yeah, we'll loan him out. We won't sell him. Not a chance. So we'll continue to focus on these four. Again, trying to get Cunningham to be a little bit more of a useful player off the bench. White as well. And Wolf is in the starting lineup. So we'll see what happens here. I don't want to say a relative lack of loans thus far. We've had a few go through, but I feel like we have half the team that are available to go out on loan. We get an offer for Cohen Wilson, who is the second highest rated goalkeeper on this team. We're going to let him go to Portugal for the rest of the year, or really for the next year in general. which is fine, of course, now that we have, an even better keeper in the system. It's more train him up for as far as he can go and then sell him. Larry White, another goalkeeper who also might be on his way to Portugal, as Walter Park is back from injury. I think he was technically our third-string left back as we finally look to get back to playing. It's Hanover, who are currently in 15th, as we actually do get a loan offer for Cunningham. Do we send him out to Bilbao? I think we do. It's going to weaken the bench just a little bit, but if we can let him, if we can loan him out, focus on other players, hopefully he gets playing time and develops while he's there, I think that's a decent bit of business for us. So we'll see if he ends up leaving the club. If so, we'll have to readjust the lineup. Of course, the offer for Olsen's been retracted. And let's see what we can do. Hanover currently in 16th. We are down into 15th because other teams have played. If we lose this game, we are in the drop zone, or at the very least, again, in line to be playing the relegation game. So we need to win. We need results, or this could be a massive setback, and a massive setback it is. Wolf gets hurt at the end. We lose 1-0 because this team cannot score. And as it stands, again, if the season were to end today, we'd have to be battling for our lives with the third best team in Bundesliga 2. What a nightmare that is. That is disastrous, and we'll see how long Wolf happens to be injured for as well. Can't help but think that's going to be a bit of bad news. Let's see if we can get Olsen up to a 76, and we do. Cunningham still hasn't left at this point. You would hope with an 82 rated keeper, especially for as young as he is, and with the attacking options that we have, that we would be in a better spot, as Wilson's been loaned out, and Tyler Wolf is out for the next month and a half. So say goodbye to the center pack. It will be Mandrakar James making his way back into the starting 11, as White has been loaned out. Cunningham also loaned out, and we get a loan offer for Brett Morgan, 67 rated 18-year-old Galatasaray, in for him. Hopefully he'll be going out to Turkey. And Cunningham has been loaned out as well, so we will see what this team looks like now that we have to make these changes. So first and foremost, James, welcome aboard. We will get Park onto the bench rather than Streith, who of course is there just for straight up depth. And they moved Gibbs to the bench. We're going to put Morgan there instead. At least for now. It might be Scott Arfield who ends up on the bench. But so disappointing. I think that's the one thing I can't get over right now. David, Laren, Davies, and yet we're struggling to score goals like we are. I think it just really caught me off guard. I thought, oh man, yeah, how quickly we've gotten ahead of schedule. It just, keep moving on to bigger and better things. Forward progress, nothing but. That hasn't been the case. So we will sim this game against Freiburg, still currently in 16th. Can we dig ourselves out of potential relegation? Can we get the win? Oh my god. There's a real chance that we're going to get relegated, guys. There is a real chance that we're going to get relegated. I don't know what to do. This team can't score goals. This team cannot score goals, no matter what the hell I do formation-wise. Alright, how are we going to dig ourselves out of this? How are we going to dig ourselves out of this mess? Can I get Brett Morgan up to the next overall? I should be able to. Indeed, he's up to a 68 now that he is on the bench. Cooper's up to an 83. White a 73. Might be able to hear the old neighbor's truck in the background. Gotta love him. Same time, every morning. What a jerk having a job. What a nerd. Morgan's been loaned out. We also get a loan offer for Colin Gibbs from Hartberg, which we will look to take. Again, we tried to loan him out earlier. We're going to have to change the formation. We have to. It's just keep changing it until we find something that works. It's the only thing that makes sense. So we get another loan offer for Gibbs. I cannot pronounce that club's name. Don't ask me to try. I would insult an entire city. As Milik to Liverpool, Gibbs still hasn't moved. Hopefully he will. Again, it just sucks that we have nobody to bring in. And we get a transfer offer for Evan White. We're not selling him. And Gibbs just refuses to leave. That's good. I hope you like just sitting on the bench doing absolutely nothing. That's a much better way to go about your time rather than actually going and playing and potentially developing. What a jerk. Bobby Firmino to Dortmund. That breaks my heart. And the transfer offer for White's been retracted, which is fine because, again, we were never going to sell him. He's not listed as being up for sale. We get another loan offer for Colin Gibbs. For the love of all that is holy, please leave. Please. It's for the best. Leave. It's for the best for me. It's for the best for you. We get a loan offer for Evan White, which I'll do that. I mean, I know obviously he's a decent bench option, but still, if we can loan him out with that team, I think that's a second-tier French team, so he'll end up getting first-team time, I would imagine. We get a transfer offer for Olsen, which again isn't going to happen, and a loan offer for Walter Park, which we will accept. Gibbs just refuses to leave. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I guess he wants to go down with the apparently sinking ship known as this team, because that is what we are looking at right now. White will stick with the club for the next bits. We get the performance review for Canada. This time we will remember to accept it. Of course, we are sticking with Canada, and then we'll get to the Youth Squad monthly reports in a moment. Let's take a look at some of the bigger deals that went down for those that do indeed care. I'm still always kind of intrigued as well. So the big money offers, again, we're looking at 2023s here. So Milik to Liverpool, Firmino to Dortmund, Kanji to Barcelona. Also got Nabil Fekir to Barcelona. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. Joe Gomez to... Okay, I've had enough. Seeing Liverpool sell off some of the better players. Yep, I've had enough. We get to play Bobby Firmino and Borussia Dortmund in this next game. I am scared. Very, 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 very scared. Because I can only assume that we're going to lose here and be that much further down. Carson Morgan's looking all right. Cohen Moore, we're just not going to sign. Not even going to bother. We don't need the extra goalkeeping talent. So, we can't score goals. That is one thing that we have learned. The help on the wings is no help at all. What can we do with this team to get them to score goals? That is the million-dollar question right now. How often have we ran the 4-2-3-1? Oh God. All right. I mean, that's the thing. We know the two setups there. It doesn't work. I don't know what to do. I genuinely don't know what to do. I almost feel helpless, like it's a guarantee that we're getting dropped, because it genuinely feels that way. It feels like we are absolutely screwed. Alright, say we take Olsen out. We bring on K. I don't even know if we've tried the 4-2-4, but screw it. We might as well. What's the worst that can happen? Literally just throw anything and everything at the wall to see what sticks and hopefully start getting us some damn wins, because it's just not happening. And I'm so afraid that we're going to have a massive setback here in terms of getting relegated, and then we have a full season of trying to dig ourselves out of this mess. This team should be better than this. Let's see what we can do. 3-0 loss. My God. We're going to get relegated. Unless we go on a ridiculous stretch here at the end of the season, we are completely and totally screwed. That's the only way I can view it. I don't know what to do. How the hell are we getting out of this? How the hell are we going to get out of this mess? We're still training up Cooper. We might as well still train up Walter Mathis as well. Another starter. I guess rather than focusing on some of the guys who haven't been starting, we'll start focusing on guys like Mathis, trying to get him up to Peter Gagnon levels. And There's no point in training David or Laren. Alphonso Davies. Try to make you better from a shooting capacity because it's not happening, man. Absolutely crushed by Dortmund. We don't even have the defenders right now to try and run a 5 at the back after the injury. Of course, the center pack currently split up. When we looked at the teams at the beginning of the season, I don't think I expected it to ever be this dire of a situation, as Gibbs has finally left. What the hell? What the hell can we do? Okay, I have an idea. Let's go with this setup here. Laren can sit, even though David's in horrible form. And we will go with that stronger midfield and hope for the best. We'll get Arfield onto the bench rather than Gibbs. That'll be the setup. I'll probably have to fix it because of how this game works. And indeed we will, because it has White as the striker, which of course is not correct. Let's see if this works. I'm just dying. When's the last... it feels like... I mean, granted, you know, we haven't scored in this episode. But let's see. Oh, good, we're playing Schalke. Well, we lost to Dortmund. We lost to Hanover. We lost to Freiburg. When's the last time we scored a goal? We didn't score against Wolfsburg. We scored against Mainz. December 17th. It is February 12th. Now, granted, there's the January break. With David, Laren, Cavallini, and Olsen, how has this happened? We need to beat Schalke, or we're going to have that much more trouble digging ourselves out of this mess. And we get a draw. We finally scored a goal. It's Clark in the 82nd minute, but that's not enough. That is not enough. Schalke now 5 points ahead of us with the same amount of games played. I don't know what to say. At this point, I have no idea what to say. I feel like the best case scenario is that we stay above Union Berlin and Hertha Berlin. Not a great season for the Berlin clubs. But if we can stay ahead of those two, we should be good enough, I'd like to think, to survive the relegation match against whatever Bundesliga 2 team we'd play. And then we can stay here. My sweet Christ. That's our only hope. As there's an injury as well. We just have to hope that Union Berlin don't catch us. 16th is the goal. And Gagnon's out for 4 months. We are now without Peter Gagnon for the rest of the year. All right. Go back to the squad hub. More than likely. Recall Colin Gauthier. Because I don't think I want to run with Mathis. Yeah, let's go recall Colin Gauthier. Our captain is out for the rest of the season. A season in which it seems like at best we are going to be fighting for our lives to stay in the Bundesliga. Colin Gauthier will be in the lineup here, and we'll take it from there. This formation really hasn't worked either, though, as frustrating as that is. So Gagnon is out. That was probably the better way to handle it, rather than playing Park, although it's not like it's mattered. So a 1-striker set hasn't worked. A 2-striker set hasn't worked. Where the hell's the this one? Let's try this. Why not? Let's try this. So it'll be Cavallini here. We'll have Laren here. David there. Can I do something dumb? Can I do something dumb? And we'll have a cam there of Olsen. What's the worst that could happen? There, let's drop these 2 backs. Actually, I want you to be a defensive mid, if you would. Left center mid, sure. Right center mid, sure. Olsen as a cam. Cavallini as the left wing. Laren as the striker. David as the right wing. What's the worst that could happen? Screw it. Let's go for it. Throw everything at the wall. See what the hell sticks. Because nothing has stuck this season. Absolutely nothing. So, Alphonso Davies is on the bench. Can we get a win against whoever the hell we play next? That's the real question. In terms of development, I want to reset this now, so it's still going to be Justin Cooper, who will hit an 84 sooner rather than later. If not this week, probably the next. And defensively, I mean, obviously now Gauthier is the big-time focus here. He's not that bad, but he is no Peter Gagnon. We will also make Mathis a little bit better. And just in case something happens to Colin Gauthier, let's start working on bumping up Walter Park to get him into somewhat useful territory. As Park makes it up to a 63 after one training session. His defensive ability was absolutely horrific. Can we score with this shit show of a formation against Borussia Mönchengladbach? We are just 5 points clear now of Union Berlin. Again, Gauthier, as we know, is back. Here we go. Can we score goals? Please, for the love of God. Goals. We scored 1, we lose 2-1. We're going to get relegated. At best, we have a chance to fight for our survival. But we are going to get relegated. This team cannot score. No matter how the hell we set it up, we can't score goals. We have an 84 rated keeper, and it doesn't matter because we can't score goals. We are 4 points clear of Hertha Berlin. 4, and we play Union Berlin next. If we lose to them, let alone draw to them, regardless, we need a result. We need a result here. We'll sign Reese Mathis. We'll sign Adam Tremblay. And the others can stay for now. We need to beat Union Berlin. This will be our 24th game of the season. And a loss here throws everything into pure disarray. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. It's like, do we strengthen the back line because we can't score? Is that what we do? Maybe that's what we do. Maybe that's what we do. I don't know. Let's get Park onto the team. Screw it. Take out Piet. Bring on White. Take out David because he's in terrible form. Bring on Arfield. See what the hell happens. What's the worst that could happen? Let's actually get him up top there. And take out Piet for... need to go for another center back, so it would be Streich. Screw it. Let's see if that works. Maybe we can at least get a draw. A rare draw out of it. Do I have to fix it again? Yes, I do. Damn it. Kind of love that that happens every time. If I hated putting up with it that much, I wouldn't do it. But, hey, I'm that desperate to just throw anything and everything at the wall to see what the hell sticks, to see if we can win a goddamn game. I don't know. I don't even remember when's the last time we won. Hopefully, I can say that we've won here. If we lose this, we are screwed. It's a draw. Oh my god. Oh my god. This has been one of the most massive disappointments of any team I've ever had in any franchise mode of any game I've ever played. Like, this is infuriating to see this team struggle this much. Like I said, I mean, we're 5 points clear of Union and Hertha Berlin. What can you even say? We're 6 points behind Freiburg to try and dig ourselves out of this mess. We have 2 games in 3 days. Or 4 days, really. I don't know what the answer is. It's just unbelievable. I guess, you know what, we'll go back to how we started this episode. We'll just put the best team out there and hope that they decide that they remembered how to score. It's pretty much what it is. So let's get Davies on the left, Clark on the right. Here, let's just save that and then jump back in and re-edit it. So Davies on the left, Clark on the right. We will have Wolf there, Gauthier there, put K there. Cam-wise, Probably David. Piet is back in. Have those two there. Wolf is back, actually, which is nice. So Mandrakar, even though he's in good form, or at least not in negative form, will take a seat. And that is the team. Cool. Let's see what happens. Like, legitimately, I have to check. When's the last time we won a game? We drew Union. Lost to Mönchengladbach. Lost to Hoffenheim. Drew Schalke. Lost to Dortmund. We lost to Hanover. We lost to Freiburg. We lost to Wolfsburg. We lost to Mainz. We lost to Stuttgart. We beat Hanover. Our last win was December 4th. It is March 11th. I'm stunned. Absolutely stunned. We play Frankfurt at home. Can we get a win? We get another draw. White scores in the 76th minute. We are 5 points clear still, but that will not be enough, more than likely. Every squirrel finds a nut, except for us, so... No, you know, even a blind squirrel can find a nut. I don't know. I'm not in the mood for random bullshit sayings. The bottom line is, we're going to get caught, and we're going to get dropped into automatic relegation. That's the only way I see this going down, because it's almost like, how can you view this going down any other way? The best team that we have, and we have nothing. I'd say, hey, here, let me screw around with the instructions, but I've done that earlier this year too, and that still didn't work. So let's play Mainz on the road. Can we get a win? Jesus Christ, we have our first win since December 4th. David and Davies with the goals. Clark gets injured as a result. But for the first time in nearly 4 months, from December 4th to March 14th, in between wins. Good Lord. And George Clark is out for 6 weeks now with a broken elbow, as the injuries just keep adding up. At the very least, it's a win. That gives us a good amount of separation from the other two clubs that are behind us. In terms of who plays the wing now, I have no idea, because we kind of got rid of our wing depth. It might end up being David, even though he can't naturally play there. Piet can't naturally play there. White can't naturally play there. Arfield can play the left, so you know what? Fuck it. Let's get Scott Arfield out there. And, let's go for Gibbs. Screw it. Congrats, Gibbs. You're on the bench. Scott Arfield in the starting 11. As we play Stuttgart. Can we make it back-to-back wins? Now, that's the real question. When's the last time we won back-to-back games? The answer is not now. It's another draw, a scoreless draw. Suppose it could have been worse. The 0-0 there. We are 2 points behind Freiburg, although they have a game at hand as we head into this international break. As Mathis is up to a 78, Park up to a 65. Not bad for the depth option. Can we hold on? Can we somehow survive this? Oh, God. Yeah, I know. Clark's got to be replaced. That's fine. We'll bring on Baloo Tabla. There we go. So, again, we'll be quick simming these games. I mean, the international friendlies, we just have to hope like hell the game's like, yeah, you're in the World Cup this time. Pretty much. But we will play Venezuela. Boosty. Between the sticks, and it's a 2-0 win. Oh, go figure. Davies can score here. He can score against Venezuela, but he can't score against Union Berlin. Unbelievable. Let's see what we can do against Colombia. Coming off a win against Uruguay. And it's a 2-2 draw. Laren scores. Cool. Thanks. You want to do that at the club level? Please? We could desperately use the help. As Park makes it up to a 66. Cooper likely to make it to an 85 at this point now by the end of the season. which is pretty sweet, but not making a whole hell of a lot of a difference. Brian Evans. We haven't checked the Youth Academy in this episode yet, so let's see what we're dealing with. Brian Evans wants out. How good are you, Brian? Horrible. Let's go back down to the bottom here. So we had Nathan Taylor, who's looking great, and we almost have to get him out of the Youth Academy as soon as possible. Alex Tremblay, we don't know for sure. Kenneth Wilson, we'll give it a little bit more time. Bruce Park is pretty much done. He's 6'5", though. I mean, we don't really... Oh, there we go. There's another can't-miss guy in Carson Morgan. We have quite a few guys in the 60s. So yet again, there is more help on the way from within the Youth Academy. Sooner rather than later, I would imagine, especially, too, about time we get relegated. Bruce Park wants out of the academy as well. I imagine a lot of the guys we just talked about will end up being on the club very, very soon. I'm going to hold off on Park, too. There's just no guarantees. So maybe he'll end up being half decent for somebody else. We'll buy him back eventually. Of course, we can keep an eye on how good players are by, calling them up to the national team. Walter Sullivan. Walter Sullivan wants out of the academy. He was one of the good ones. 63 overall at 18 years old. Walter, welcome aboard. And if anything, we might start playing you in left rather than Arfield. Let's see how good he is and figure out what we have. So, of course, Wilson's out on loan. We could recall him because of the injury. Let's see how good Sullivan is. Showing great potential. 4-star, 3-star, medium, low. That's not too bad. It's nothing great. Of course, we are going to have to sell some people here coming up, but we don't have to handle that right now. We're going to have to sell some people because we're going to have a full club and we won't be able to sign anybody from the Youth Academy. So we'll have to play that safe and start moving on from certain people. We play Wolfsburg. Can we get a win? A win and a Freiburg loss would take us out of the potential drop zone. But they are coming off a win against Bayern Munich, and they beat us here 2-1. Jonathan David missed a pen in the 3rd minute. Laren scored in the 76th, but it was not enough. It is a 2-1 loss, and we are 2 points above Hertha Berlin. We are 2 points away from being automatically relegated back to Bundesliga 2. You watch. We'll be playing Hertha Berlin coming up. We have our final scouting report here. Russell James will sign for the moment. Another Walter Sullivan. Larry Taylor's an amazing goalkeeper. And Frank Burns as well. Cool. Cool. Well, in terms of needing anything specific, I don't think we're going to scout for anything. I think we'll probably, first and foremost, look for another 5-star, in which there is not one. We are now 0 for 2 in recent episodes, looking for a 5-star. So we'll send Tim back to Canada. It'll just be a generic 3-month scouting. We'll see who he finds. And who are we playing next? Coming up on the weekend. We got a loan offer for Walter Sullivan already. We'll see if that goes through. Get him a little bit of playing time come the beginning of next season. What are we dealing with? Oh, it's Bayer Leverkusen. Oh, that's a great matchup for us. It's not. I'm being sarcastic. Okay. Sullivan's coming in for Arfield. Gibbs will take a seat for Arfield. What's the worst that could happen? Let's run 64. You know what? I think we got to recall that other dude. We got to recall some players. We have to. So, Wilson, you're coming back. We need you. We desperately need you. He's up to a 76, but we need him on that left-hand side. We'll still play Davies on the right. And we'll keep Arfield on the bench for now. It is actually, well, we need a winger, so... Sorry, Scott, but you might be finishing your final season here in the reserves. He and Streith both out of contract at the end of this. Let's see how that works out for us. Will he, Wilson that is, will he be the spark that we need? No, he will not be. 2-0 loss Have we been put into the automatic drop zone? Yes, we have, by 1 point. Oh my god. We play Hertha Berlin coming up. We have 5 games left. Leipzig, Cologne, Hertha Berlin, Bayern Munich, Werder Bremen. We are 5 games away from getting automatically relegated back to Bundesliga 2. It is all hands on deck. If there's anybody I can recall that could be of help to strengthen the bench or whatever, it has to be done. Obviously, goalkeeper-wise, there's not much to worry about there. Right back-wise, it's fine with Mathis and Brock Gallard. 68 center backs, not really going to help us. Cameron is a 73 left back. He might be a better option than Colin Gauthier. You know, we're going to recall Cameron from Villarreal and see if he can do the job for us at left back. Do we have anybody else who's out on loan that shouldn't be? Russell Williams can be recalled from Genk. He was up to a 73. And aside from that, Cunningham is a 73 as well. I didn't want to hit view offers. I wanted to recall him from loan, even though we just sent him out there. The good thing is we have the money to recall people, really, without being in too much trouble for it. So Cunningham wasn't on loan for long. It is all hands on deck, recalling whomever we can to strengthen the bench as it stands. So again, Clark being hurt, put him there. Arfield is probably never going to see the field for us again. So that is the current team. We have Cavallini as a striker sub. Midfield-wise, let's get Williams and Cunningham out there. White hasn't really done the job for us, so Piet can go there. I'm going to move in Russell Williams. He's not the best defender in the world. We're going to move him up. David's been terrible, so we'll put Cavallini there. We'll put Piet. Can White defend? Not really. We'll put Piet, CDM. And screw it. Let's put Cunningham out on the right. And that is pretty much all we're going to change. Yeah, so that'll be the bench moving forward. We're going to throw a couple of new names and faces in there. Gauthier will be out for Cameron, and he'll be straight to the bench. 5 games to save our season, or we are right back down the Bundesliga 2. Not right back down, but we go back down in extremely disappointing fashion after seemingly, securing ourselves in the Bundesliga after last year. So, in terms of training up Olsen, it's just not really going to happen. We can try to get the vision up there to get him up to a 77. Justin Cunningham, no real easy way to train you up from the looks of it, except for the improvement to vision as well. Just trying to get these guys to the next overall. I doubt Alphonso Davies has an easy level up here. He does not. Who else do we have? Let's go for Russell. Because methinks Russell is going to be a crucial part of this team moving forward, because if we get relegated, I'm selling a lot of our big players and turning it over to the youth. If we get relegated, all those guys that we brought in thinking these are the ones that are going to help us be successful, I might just sell them. I honestly might. Maybe we let Alphonso date me. Laren's gone, probably. Cavallini's gone. Maybe we, so we apparently loaned out Sullivan, but I think that was the other dude. Maybe we loan out Davies, let him get a season away as we focus on bumping up the youth. Yeah, that's Walter Sullivan who was just taken out. Let's see what happens against RB Leipzig. We are down by 1 point over Hertha Berlin. Can we dig ourselves out of this mess? It's a home game, and we do win 2-1. Wilson and Alphonso Davies off the bench. They got 1 goal back in the 72nd minute. We held on. Hertha Berlin, from the looks of it, beat Union Berlin. So unfortunately, we're still going to be a point back. But had we lost, we would have been 4 points back. So it's between... Here's the problem. Even just getting over Hertha Berlin, that gives us a chance to fight. If we finish below them here, we're done. It's automatic relegation. But we're only 2 points out of the drop zone entirely. We can still save our season. But we have to win. And this game coming up against Hertha Berlin next weekend, or it might even be a midweek game, I think it's next weekend, that game is going to determine what happens. And I don't know. I don't know. Like, I almost want to play it to try and save our season, but I don't, because maybe we should be relegated. Wolf is out of this match. Mandrakar James will be on. And Clark said he wants to go, but he's not. He's not playing. He's not in condition to do that. So I'll add Park there. That'll be the team. That will be the team. Can we beat Cologne to keep pace with Hertha Berlin before we have our showdown with them in just a few days? We need to beat Cologne. Cavallini scores a 6th-minute penalty. I'm waiting for a score update. Caleri tied it for them. I'm waiting for a score update. They might not be playing on the same day as we hit halftime. Still 1-1. Davies is on. Can he score is the question. 65th minute. And we're trailing. Final 10 minutes. Cavallini tied it in the 78th. It's a draw. A 2-2 draw against Cologne. 2 goals for Cavallini. We're still alive, but Hertha Berlin haven't played. We need them to drop points in this next game. If they drop points here, we have a chance. God damn it, I can't believe it's come down to this. I cannot believe it has come down to this. Freiburg 1 point ahead of us as well. We need them to lose. We need them to lose. Yeah, Clark, you can be disappointed you weren't healthy. Freiburg lost. We're 1 point behind Freiburg. Well, actually, damn, Frankfurt's up. So, who the hell was just that? So, man, yeah, Hertha Berlin's up to freaking 12th. That's how much of a logjam it is down here. We are 1 point behind Freiburg, 2 points behind Frankfurt. If we beat Hertha Berlin, we should be out of the drop zone. If we lose, we are screwed, I think is the best way to put it. I'm going to sim this game because, damn it, if we deserve to be relegated, then let us be relegated. I'm not going to bail us out of this. It's either we dig ourselves out of it or we don't. We're going to put Davies back in, which scares me. Really scares me. I want to get Cunningham onto the bench as well rather than the backup goalkeeper. Let's try it. Let's try it. Jonathan David's not even in right now. It's insane to me. Biggest game of the season. They've won 3 straight. We have to win or we are in severe trouble. This needs to be a win. For the love of God. Laren ties it up 2 minutes later. Jesus. I saw them score and I was crushed. They score again. It's 2-1. Boys, this is it. This is it. 20 minutes left. It's 3-1. We got one back in the 85th. We just lost, and I think we're done. Oh my God. We are going to get relegated. We lose 3-2. We are on pace to be relegated. We have 2 games left against Bayern Munich and Werder Bremen. We have Larry Kerr and Eric Bliska, another Walter Sullivan as well. And we'll even sign that Andrew Cunningham guy for the moments. So all those players are going to be pretty beneficial for us once we get relegated here and have to refill out the roster. Bayern Munich stand in front of us in what are must-win games for the final 2 games of the season. Union Berlin have already been relegated. Bayern battling for a top 4 spot. Dortmund and Hoffenheim battling for the league. Werder Bremen currently in 10th. We have scored 29 goals. It doesn't feel like it because we've given up 47. I don't know what to do lineup-wise either. Do we stick with the players that have let us down all season? Or do we go with those who are at least not in bad form? Which, unfortunately, I think would be most. David's in at Cam. Wilson on the left. Cunningham on the right. K at CDM. Brault Gallard at right back. Again, K at CDM. Mandrakar at center back. Fuck it, Park at left back. And we're going to go with an inspired team. Why not? Why play the guys who continue to be in bad form? It's not like it's really significantly helping our chances. We're still losing games hand over fist. So, screw it. Gibbs is on. White is there. Let's get Sullivan out there as well. And then in terms of defensive options, we're going to go with Park and Mathis, and screw it, Gagnon can be on the bench. Let's go with the guy. You know what? Fuck it, Cooper. I know you're an 85, buddy, but guess what? We're recalling somebody, and we're going to see if he can get us results. I'm that desperate that I'm not even going to play the 85 keeper, which some people might call sabotage, and that's fine. We're going with Cohen Wilson. Can't tell me a 78 rated keeper is pure sabotage. It's not as if Cooper's had a great season by any stretch. So he will be taking a seat for one Cohen Wilson. And with that, this team is set. We play Bayern Munich and Werder Bremen. What can we do here? Bayern are in terrible form. We need a win. They don't have the strongest team in theory, unless a lot of these guys have developed out of nowhere. We need all 3 points. We've beaten them before. We need to do it again. Please. Please. Half an hour left. Griezmann's on. Sands scores. 10 minutes left. Now we need the draw. We're getting relegated. We are 1,000% getting relegated, guys. I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. We're going to get relegated. Like I said, I think next year, we're going to see a lot of changes. It literally comes down to the last game of the season. We would have to win just to have a chance. We need a win. Freiburg need to lose. We can finish on 32 points. So we need a win and for Freiburg to lose just for us to not be automatically relegated. And technically we could finish above Hanover and bump them down depending on goal differential. Which for them, 31 goals for, 45 against. They're better on goal differential than we are. So we are going to finish in the bottom 3. It's just where? Is it automatic relegation? Or do we have a chance at the playoff? I'm going to stop the episode here because it's a major enough decision. We've talked about it before. In terms of do we play or do we don't? Do we don't? Do we not? Do we? I'll leave it up to you. There's a poll. The little eye thingies in the top corner. Yes or no? Are we playing Werder Bremen? If we get a chance at the knockout games, do we play the second leg? So 2 different polls. Poll number 1, do we play the final game of the season against Bremen? If we win, Freiburg lose, and we move up into the relegation game against the team from Bundesliga 2, do we play the second leg or no games at all? Those will be the 2 polls attached. I will leave it up to you. One way or another, this season's going to be remembered as a horrific failure. I think one way or another, we're going to be looking at moving on from some of the faces, the longtime faces in the series. David's been brutal. Davies has been a complete bust. Kyle Larin has 6 goals. He's a bust to me. Clark only has 4 goals. We'll be loaning out people. We'll be selling people. And we'll be making the necessary changes one way or another to open up spots for the younger guys from the youth academy to carry this team, because the real world players, the already established players, can't seem to get the job done.